Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another Steven Universe review. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Storm in the Room. Okay, so when this episode was first announced, just based on the episode name, I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. Maybe we'll finally get our pink diamond, right? We'll finally get that war flashback I've always wanted, right? That's what got me interested in it. And then a few days ago, the first leak came out, and I was worried. I was like, crap. No. Don't do this. No. So, yeah, I was not looking forward to this one. And we'll see. So, Storm in the Room, right? Starts off basically where the new Crystal Gems left off, just a few minutes later. Connie and Steven are back at the house, right? They're hanging out. Connie's waiting for her mom to come pick her up. Right? And they're like, oh, well, your mom's not here yet. All the Gems and my dad are back at the car wash. Let's just hang out, right? So they start hanging out, right? They do Mad Libs. It's nothing special, really, right? But she starts to get more and more panicked, right? Oh, what if she was in an accident? What if there was an explosion, right? Just things like that. But then her mom shows up, right? It's like, oh, I'm glad you're safe. And it's, oh, we just ran long at the hospital. Don't worry. And Steven's just kind of there in the background, right? He's not too well off, right? So she leaves and we see him just kind of walk around the house. He takes a shower. He makes some dinner, right? Mac and cheese. I'm gonna use sad for the moment.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one.
Right? He can't look at the portrait of the mom, right? He goes outside, it starts raining, he comes back in, and he's like, I just wish I knew what the real you was like, right? That's all he wants to know. So the door to the room opens up, and he goes in, and he's like, hey, room, I want to speak to my mom. And yeah, sure enough, there's Rose. Right? They've never met before, and it's made very obvious that yes, of course she is a projection of the room. She asks him, what do you want to do? We know from that one episode in season 1 that's how the room works. They can't decide for their own. They only do what they're told, right? Well, they can because they reflect what's in the heart, right? The room is a physical manifestation of Steven's innermost thoughts, right? So he's kind of there with his mom. He's hanging out. They play football, right? And it was at this point I realized while she's catching the football, she gives this whole speech about how like sports work, right? And how it's pushing the ability. And I'm like, this speech sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure she gave it in the one Greg the Babysitter. It's a very similar speech. And then I was like, oh my God, this is just how he thinks his mom would be like. That's really depressing. God damn it, episode. It is really sad when you think about it, right? Oh my God. And then boom, they do the whole Charlie Brown football thing, kick the football flip, right? And it's like, oh yeah, we're a lighthearted episode for the moment. It's like, oh, they're trying to break the tension, right? Because this is eventually he's just there with the mom. He starts crying and he's just sad, right? But then he's like, let me take a picture, right? I want to commemorate this moment. And he goes to take the picture. She's not there. And I'm like, wait, she's clouds, right? I thought the room makes stuff out of clouds. Sure, it's in his mind and his heart, but it's still clouds. Shouldn't she still be there? She's just manifested out of clouds, but whatever, right? And then he's like, wait, you're not real. None of this is real. And she's like, you're not my mom. And she's like, I'm not? That leads, I could be overanalyzing this, in which I probably am, but there's something about the way she says it, the look in her eyes, that makes me think there is something going down here. Because Steven, like Rose says, the fake Rose, I'm always with you, right? What if she is kind of coming out through his gym? I think I said in the Mr. Greg review, I may not have, but that it feels like there are moments in which Rose is speaking through Steve. I feel like we felt this before, and what if this is the same way? I was also kind of reminded of the whole Superman scenario. How Superman's dad is like in his Fortress of Solitude as the computer? What if that's kind of something like that? Like Rose can use the room to speak through the gym, right? Again, this is more that I may just be reading too much into this. But eventually he's like, no, you're a liar. You bubbled bismuth and didn't tell anybody about it. You started a war with Homeworld and then became me and abandoned everybody else. You became me to run away from your problems. They turned Steven into the villain. Villain may be too strong of a word, but he's the antagonist in this moment. And it's like, oh shit episode. God damn it. Maybe you do know what you're doing. Well, I mean, like, they do, but maybe this is better than I thought it was. Maybe there is more to be done here. And especially with the scenario of her not being real, he's just taking his anger out on her because he needs to. It's what he needs. The room knows what he needs most and will give it to him. He needs to take it out. And this is how he does it. And eventually, Cloud Rose, or whatever we're calling it, is like, I left you the tape. Would I have lied to you in that tape? And he says no, and the room starts to cry for him. It's obvious symbolism, but I guess it works. You know, I can't complain too much. It's a sweet scene, but yeah, that's his family, right? Greg and the Gym show back up. They have pizza, and it's like, oh, you're all here. This is exactly what I wanted, and that's where it ends. Oh God, I'm torn. I don't hate this one. There's just, like I said, the fact that they make Steven out to be the antagonist, but not like a straw man antagonist, works. It's what is needed to be done. But yet, the fact that, I don't know, there's just something about Rose coming back that bugs me. I don't know. Objectively, I think this episode has problems, but I'm kind of willing to overlook them because I do think this is an important episode. This one really has me torn. I've seen it, God, who knows how many times already, because I cannot make up my mind. I don't hate it, okay? I think it works, okay? It does its job, but yeah. I have a question for you guys, though. If, let's say, Rose was able to come back. Let's say they somehow found a way for Rose to come back. Should she? Why or why not? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I may use them on a future video. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.